heard coach's evaluation. How would you evaluate your game over the last couple of weeks?
I would say I'm making improvements, definitely compared to when I went in the UCO compared to this week. I feel a lot more comfortable, but, our receivers are playing really good. Our offensive line, our running back, our defense, everybody's playing good, so that just makes my job a lot easier.
Looked down on the sideline one time and noticed you and the offensive coordinator having a conversation while the defense was playing. Without getting into too many specifics, what is the conversation between you two like when the defense is out there?
He'll ask me about, if I saw, what I saw on the field, or we talk about what we're going to try to do the next drive, just simple stuff like that.
Now that you're in a starting role, do you approach the game differently than you did before, and maybe what is different about it now that you're out there more consistently?
In terms of watching film and the way I practice, nothing changes. I would say the only thing that changes is getting those reps with the starting receivers and watching film with them, gaining that chemistry that we maybe didn't have 4 weeks ago. So that's the biggest difference.
I'm going to kind of follow up on that. I mean, do you feel that you and the receivers are kind of on the same page? It appears that you have been so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. And like I said, I mean, they're really good. So, even if we weren't on the same page, they'll still make plays. But, on the first touchdown to Jaden, I mean, he wasn't even looking when I threw it. And, I knew he was going to be there. He knew the ball was going to be there. So, there's still a lot to work on, but we're getting there.
Looking back, comparing your first start and your second start, what was it like going into that first start? Were you nervous? Did you feel comfortable? And were you more comfortable going into your second start class?
First start, homecoming, sold out crowd, number 12 team in the country. I was a little, just like normal nervous, but, as the game started and continued, I felt calm. And then definitely this past week felt a lot calmer going into it. And, but that's just because we prepare well. Coach Ross does a great job of preparing us. So, yeah.
Coach was talking a lot about the defense of Pittsburgh State. They throw a lot of different looks out there. He also mentioned how much you watch film. So in your evaluation of film so far, what do you see out of the Pittsburgh State defense?
They do a lot. They'll, a lot of cover three. They'll drop DNs, rotate safeties. They're really good. They're really disciplined. It seems like they play hard. They attack the ball. So, we're just going to have to prepare really well. And, I feel confident about our game plan.
When you have a defense like that, and there's so much to think about and consider, how do you make sure it's not too much? So then when you're in the game, you're trying to do too much thinking and not enough playing. Just have a pre-snap plan. Just always, Coach Ross always talks about having a backup plan. So if I think they're in a certain coverage and then the ball snapped and they're in a different coverage, I need to have a backup plan. And that helps me out a lot. And a lot of plays we have are man and zone beaters, so that helps.
One thing we've noticed, your ability to extend the play, but maybe isn't there initially, just to scramble. What are you looking at, and then when do you make that decision? Okay, now's a good time to run, or I can maybe hang an extra second, and then the receiver's going to get over.
I think, especially on Saturday, Washburn did a good job in coverage, and if nothing's there, I'll take off and try to make something happen. Or if I just kind of feel something, I'll take off. And we work scramble drill a lot in practice, so that's something that we've been working on, and I think we've done a good job.
When a team makes a change at quarterback at any point during the season, potentially, it could be a rough transition, but talk about your relationship with Jack and how that helps making that transition.
Yeah, ever since I got here, me and Jack have been best friends. So, he's helped me out so much, just in the way that I prepare and the way I practice. He's always supporting me. It wasn't a hard transition at all. As soon as they named me the starter, he was the first person to be like, hey, man, congrats, go do your thing. And I know that he'll be ready. But no, that's one of my best friends, and he's supported me more than anybody throughout this process.
Tell us about high school football in Denison, Texas.
It's exciting for sure. A lot of people have been asking me, what's it going to be like playing in front of Pitt State's crowd? Well, my first game my senior year in high school, there was about 11,000 people there. So I played in front of big crowds and, had great coaches there that prepared me for this moment. So it was definitely exciting, and it was cool, to play against a bunch of good players down there and good teams.
How do you end up in Hays, Kansas then?
Coach Zoda, who was the quarterback coach here originally when I got here, came to one of our practices, invited me on a visit, came here, and, I think, just loved it from the start. Loved Coach Brown, the way that, he talked about things, his plans for the future. And, the guys here, like, even on my visit, I felt just like that family, that Coach Brown is always talking about. And I love the town. It's a football town, You see it on game day. Everybody comes out and supports. So that was big for me, and it's in the best conference in D2. So I wanted to play against great competition.
Did you have some other options coming out of high school?
Yes, I had. I don't even remember. I had probably 8 or 9 other offers at the Division II level, but I knew as soon as I left Hays, I wanted to commit here.
Okay, the hardest hitting question. You had a little bit longer hair last couple of years.
Yep.
What went into a little bit shorter haired look for you?
It was just the wind here is really bad, and it was just I couldn't see, so I just ended up getting it cut. And actually, Ethan Forrester, a quarterback who was here last year, got his cut a lot shorter than mine. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to be bald in about 3 years. So I better enjoy it while I got it.
That's awesome.
What do you consider your strengths as a quarterback, and also areas you think you need to work on?
Strength I would say I have is, just knowing what the defense is doing. I watch a lot of film throughout the week. Knowing what the defense is doing is really important. And, I think I can use my feet when I can. I think I can stay in the pocket and make throws. And, I think what I have to improve on is about everything. That's how I think. So, but just continuing to grow and get better, and in certain situations, knowing what to do, knowing when to throw the ball away, and especially knowing when to slide.
Is that something you worked on, knowing how to slide?
I have not worked on that yet. I need to go play baseball or something, I think. So.
You mentioned how, in your mind, you need to work on everything. Does that make maybe accepting hard coaching a little easier? Because if you have the belief you need to work on something, when somebody tells you that, then you know that they're just trying to help you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Coach Ross is really hard on me. And, I think that's because he knows that, I want to be great. I want to be the best quarterback in the country. And, even if I complete a pass in practice and it's high, like, he's going to tell me, like, get the ball down. It's not about, the result. It's about the process, and that's what me and him talk about all the time.